With the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're going to have some of their key players back. Remember, they traded Ryan McDonagh because they had to clear cap space really to extend Sergachev and Cirelli, which they've done today. There's McDonagh going to Nashville. Columbus really wanted him, but they weren't quite ready. More competitive in Nashville for McDonagh, also a tax-free state, so he's not losing any salary there by going to Ohio. But so we extend Sergachev 8.5. That's a big number. He's really good. And I thought the D market cap number, especially, I thought that was going to cool a little bit because they got really high last year. It was a good time to be up. McAvoy getting over 9, McCarver 9. And then Cirelli, 8 years, 6.25.
I think that's a great deal
for him.
And Černák is next. And you saw the way that Černák was so important during those playoffs. Literally blocking shots, limping off, blocking more shots coming out. So this is Julien Brisebois. This is what he does. He doesn't go to anyone's market, but I do believe it does mean Andre Palat is not returning.
Well, because Nemestikov is in at 2.5 and then Cole at 3. So that was the Palat number, right? If you take 5, you can stay here, whatever, roughly. Yeah. Now we'll see where he goes, and there it is. So this guy looks like his career is over. A couple Stanley Cups, playoff guy the last couple of years.
Well, his career is not over, just in Tampa Bay.
His Tampa Bay career, correct. But he's been just an amazing playoff guy for them the last few years. And looks like now they're not going to have him. But he 34 playoff goals in the last 5 seasons, third most in the league behind Point and McKinnon. But again, he's in his early 30s. His regular season numbers are starting to go here. So
wow, guys.
What?
Černák.
Yeah, I did.
Done. How many?
5.2 mil.
Wow, that's why I think we figured 5. I thought Sergachev would have been high 7s, but he gets 8s and he gets 5. So there you go.
Julien Brisebois gets it done.
Yeah.
And for Palat, maybe Detroit. Maybe
Detroit
New Jersey.
Or
Those are two good places that I think he could end up in.
Teams
they got
on
money.
their eyes with money.
Yeah, he could get term. I think those would be.
So is Seattle just going to strike out on all the guys they want? Because it sounds like John Klingberg is re-engaging with Dallas.
Here's a little question.
Because they're out on Burns. Because they want to get Brett Burns.
Yeah. Here's a question for Colorado. Obviously, you're pushing to get Naz back there, Nazem Kadri. But if he doesn't go back there, what about Andre Palat? Colorado.
I like that. I wouldn't mind that.
Which doesn't.
Well, here's the thing with Palat, too.
I'm trying to think of the
wingers
they have.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with Palat, though, too. And I think why Jersey makes sense, Detroit makes sense, and Stevie Yzerman connection in Detroit. But every team that's looking to kind of make that next step wants what Andre Palat is bringing to the table. Versatility on the ice.
That's right.
Big time goal, he's there, but it's also the intangible stuff. Because he's been a part of Tampa. He knows what it takes. He knows what it looks like.
Yeah.
And he's got to show these guys. Exactly right.
No question. And you're right. Teams value that. He's bringing that with him when he brings his hockey bag and his luggage there. They're getting some of that DNA from Tampa.
Well, these guys are watching him, too. Just think about these guys. I mean, we're all locked in.
Yeah.
Big goals that he's scoring, being a part of a team that's like on back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, looking for in another Stanley Cup final. I mean, that's
looks like Killorn was the guy they thought they might try to move 4.75, but looks like that's not. Looks like they're going to keep now this year, right?
Yeah, they are.
It appears they're going to do that now. That could change the deadline, but so that's good because I know he loves being there. He loves playing there, and he's an important guy. Had a tough postseason this year scoring, but so for a while we thought that might be a guy who'd move out to maybe like to a Chicago just to clear the space and sign Palat, but it looks like he'll hook around.
These are hard decisions that Julien Brisebois has to make, right? Last year he had to walk away from 3 guys that were an important part of their cup-winning team. You can't keep everybody happy, and you have to move on at some point. I think for Palat, it's important for him to make sure that he gets the payday and the term that he can get now that he deserves.
He's 31. This is his last big contract.
This is it.
Well, you know what it is though too. It's identifying because you're right. Like teams like this, teams like the Lightning, teams like the New England Patriots, like when everyone wants a piece of a winning team.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You get to the point where you develop these players, they have success, and all of a sudden they become too expensive because you can't keep everybody. But it's on you to self-scout and know, okay, we can't, as much as we want to keep you, we know you're kind of, because we see every day, your game is kind of trending more towards this, so we'll let you walk, and then we'll keep certain handpicked guys to keep this thing going.
Yeah, and to that point, somebody like Cirelli, who's playing a bigger role, right?
3 8-year extensions.
Yeah. But you know what? This is smart. This is proactive.
Yeah.
It's outstanding ownership.
Guys in their mid-20s.
That's right.
I think people think Chernák's like 38. They think.
Well, sir,
amazing how young he is.
Yeah. They're young.
Yeah. But you know what?
And Cirelli, too. These guys in their early to mid-20s.
Outstanding job in getting Černák in that deal when they first got him in the trade.
Yeah.
So that meant their amateur scouts are doing the right job because he played in the OHL.
Yep.
So they got a great pickup in him. Not to mention you get Sergachev, who was great in junior as well in the OHL, who won the Memorial Cup in Windsor. Not to mention you get Cirelli, who also won the Memorial Cup in the OHL. So to me, we look at the National Hockey League, and we always talk about pro scouting, of course, because that's where you're playing. But a lot of these deals and a lot of the thought processes, come from having seen these players and doing your homework on them even before they got to the league. It'll give you a more comprehensive kind of perspective on these players. So props to Tampa, man. Props.
Well, I think the other thing
Julian Brisebois.
Well, Weeks, the other thing that's important too is having an identity, like knowing what you want to look like, and totally. Like having a certain role that you need to fill. You mentioned the guys that they lost. Yeah. Because again, to your point, championship team. So I want Barclay Goodrow. Everyone wants a piece of that. You lose an entire line, and it's like, well, we know exactly what we're trying to replenish here. We'll take Nick Paul, and they fill, and everything works seamlessly. That's
who they got an extension with as well.
7
already,
years,
right?
Let's talk about the other Florida team, the Panthers. Again, they made a lot of noise. Bill Zito's had a pretty good batting average in all his deals that he's been doing. But then they go to the playoffs and they get, great regular season, score all those goals, and they can't score in the playoffs. Maybe the guys we have on our team are good regular season, but not postseason guys. That's part of building a roster.
Power play stunk.
Why Tampa Bay extends people who prove themselves in the playoffs. Yep. Anything you can tell us on the Panthers and what they can and might do?
I was interested in this, Pucci. On the draft floor in Montreal, I stopped by the Panthers table, and firstly, they had nothing to do for a couple days. They didn't pick till the third round, so they had a lot of time to chat. But talking to people around their front office, they said, we need to look at our team realistically. Sure. Yeah, it was awesome we won the President's Trophy. It was awesome we had 122 points. Best in the league, best in franchise history. That said, 38 of our points came after regulation, and maybe we weren't as good of a team as it looked on paper. And so therefore, this summer, they're seeing a little more conservative of a tone. Their number one priority is re-signing Jonathan Huberdeau. I've heard that there's been a lot of progress there. But more so, they said they're scouring the free agent market for guys who have some warts that maybe could blossom under their eyes. Yeah, I don't think physical warts unless they have a really good dermatologist. Guys that feel like they need to create a name for themselves by being in their structure. So they're not getting ahead of themselves because of their success. They're also not overreacting to that second round loss.
They don't have a lot of money though right now.
Yeah. They're strapped against the cap.
They don't want to lose weak. They don't want to lose weaker though.
They may have to.
Yeah, they may have to. They've been talking some trades with teams like his hometown.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.